here who's actually seen an X-rated movie?
I've seen an X-rated movie.
Possibly.
You guys.
I mean, porn counts, right?
No, I'm talking like theatrical release, X-rated.
I don't know.
Stop.
Hey, priest, do the read-in.
Okay. Oh God.
Clockwork Orange and Midnight
3,
Cowboy.
2, 1. Hello and welcome to the Good HIE podcast, where we aren't the Hascast and we aren't Seattle's Angels, and we're not sorry for it. We're our own thing and we're cool, and maybe one day we'll be awesome enough to be on Ponyville Live. Please. This week on the podcast, we have some regular podcast members coming up with us. We have a non-pencil,
Hockey's back. Thank you, God.
Enigmatic Otaku,
I'm indifferent to hockey.
Fuck you.
Milk,
What's up?
and Ravage.
What?
But that's not what everyone's here for, of course. This week we have a very special guest with us, and he goes by the name of BronyWriter.
Hi.
BronyWriter, thank you for coming on with us. We have easily one of the most eventful weeks on the Good HIE List forum in regards to asking questions. We have so many posts in this thread right now. I believe we have over 28 posts of questions, which is an all-new high for questions on the thread. So that said, for everyone who's watching at home, the easiest way that you can ask questions for us and for our guest is by commenting on the thread in the Good HIE List group on FinFiction, or we have a non-pencil who is also going to be trolling the chat on Twitch TV and will interject from time to time to ask live questions straight to BronyWriter.
All of them, and a warning to you who are going to ask questions. We are trying to keep the podcast a little bit more gentle today. We're not asking questions about giant pony cocks and anuses, and we're not asking questions about dead infants. I know, but we're not. So if you ask us questions, I'm going to have to overlook them. Sorry, folks.
I'm not saying go G-rated or even PG-rated. The line between PG and R is fine. I don't care.
We're gonna blur out all the hand holding.
Yeah, no hand holding. We're better than that.
No hand holding. I'm a big boy. I can handle some stuff.
Okay.
So go
So
ahead.
no violent questions.
But no
Right?
dicks.
Oh my.
No.
That said, Pencil, do you want to talk about the drinking word and anything
yes,
else I missed?
Do. Yes, I do. So as you guys know, we usually have our drinking word, and so when someone says that word, you are gonna drink. Today, you guys better get ready to drink because our drinking word is human. That's right. On the Good HIE podcast, we have never had the drinking word be human before, and so we're doing that. We're not sorry. So let's hope that you have something that won't actually cause brain damage, and that's what we're doing. So
yeah, BronyWriter does not endorse underage drinking publicly.
Nor do we.
Please, no, don't drink if you're under the age of 21. Please.
Yeah.
Unless you're in a country where that's okay.
And even if you do, drink responsibly. It is the weekend, but don't die, please. We've noticed our viewer count going down. Don't die.
That's why. I'm sure.
No. But we might as well jump straight into the questions. We've got so many this week. BronyWriter.
Yep.
Question number 1 comes from Explosions in the forum.
Cool.
What is the worst thing you've ever done? Is there a story behind it?
The worst thing I've ever done.
That you're willing to publicly admit, of course.
That I'm willing to publicly admit. I'm not going to pretend I'm a saint. I'm a human being like everyone else. Take a shot.
It begins.
I said it.
Ooh, we got a troll.
Yeah. Worst thing I've ever done. And I'm willing to publicly admit.
Yep.
Like I'll give a slight example. Like the other day, I felt terrible. Like the entire day because when I came home from work, it was late and it was straight up just pitch black in my house. And
Take the cat.
I have a
Take the
cat, and she's a silent little thing, and she flew across the room like
Jade, like 16?
she is an old kitty cat. She flew across the room, and I accidentally just straight up like punted her. I felt terrible. She's fine, but
Probably annoyed. I know how cats can be. My wife is a cat.
Is a cat?
Yeah, what?
Has a cat.
Oh,
okay.
I heard you say your wife is a cat.
Oh, that answers the question right there. So,
No.
Like-
Well, I once told a friend he was going to hell.
oh,
That's the thing I would
Got him.
change.
I'm
Like, if
sure
I could
he
go
was
back.
genuinely offended.
I don't think so. It was in high school, and I used to be a lot more gung ho, political gung ho, religious. The two things you told me not to talk about here, but I used to be a lot more, militant in my beliefs, if you will.
Right,
I've since considerably mellowed out. I mean, I'm still aligned to those particular things, but I've considerably mellowed out. But yeah, if I could change one thing in my whole life, that would be it.
Damn,
Of all
dude.
of the things I've done, telling a friend, "Oh, you're going to hell. Because you don't believe what I believe." That is the
Wow.
thing I would change of all the things I've done.
Alrighty. Well, then we'll move
Yeah.
on to the next question.
Uh-huh.
Next, Explosions asks, what does life mean to you?
What does life mean to me?
We're getting
Oh,
philosophical early, man. We're getting
Yeah.
real
I
philosophical.
thought I'd get questions of where do you live? Yes or no stuff.
Nah, dude.
What does life mean to me?
Live by the horse.
Die by the
Pony,
horse.
Yeah.
pony is life.
Well, keep fighting one day at a time, no matter what your battles may be. I also
All we
find
have to win.
I also find society to be inherently ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, a lot of the stereotypical stuff, don't be a dick to people, it's just squeeze as much out of it as you can, as I think.
Oh God.
Because
Alrighty.
you never flipping know where it's going to take you. Because if you told me 5 years ago, this is what I'd be doing, I'd be like, no. Isn't My Little Pony that little girls thing? No. I went through the 7 steps of being a brony that everyone else did. Yeah, so don't take it seriously, I find. It's just gonna hurt if you do. Does that answer your question? I'm kind of jumping.
No,
Yeah,
no,
absolutely.
you got it. There are no wrong answers here by any means.
Yeah.
We're not sitting here being like, you must
No,
answer
we're-
this right or else.
Yeah, no. What makes you right?
I have ideas that just have to get down on the paper or screen, as it were. That's what got me started. I just had an idea and I posted it on DeviantArt. It's probably still there. And then I found FimFiction. I'm like, oh, here we go. And so I write now both for the mostly the joy that comes with it to get my ideas out, and also fiercely loyal fans. I would not be where I am today without them, and I can't begin to say how much I appreciate it. So I write for my ideas just to get stuff out and to go, hey guys, here's some cool ideas that I have. Here's some stuff.
You definitely have really loyal fans. Like, that's absolutely for sure. You have some very loyal fans.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I can't.
And that's awesome.
Yeah, I can't begin to just. The first time I went to a convention and someone went, "Wait, you're BronyWriter," or asked for my autograph or something like that, asked to have a picture taken with me, is just mind-boggling to me. I never thought I'd have that effect on anybody when I started, but yeah.
Alrighty.
probably wouldn't be doing it still if I didn't have such great fans.
Would you say that you do the writing explicitly like for your fans?
Well, I mean, I write what I want to read, I guess. I feel that I am not really in charge of the stories I write. I am merely a conduit from which the stories flow. So I've made it no secret that I make it all up as I go along. For the most part, I still have stuff that I plan. But yeah, for my fans.
Awesome. I'm gonna shift from the thread to a little more probably standard interview question. So, what brought you into the MLP fandom?
A combination of my wife and my college roommate. College roommate is the first time I ever heard about it. This would be my sophomore year of college. I, went to my dorm room first, week of college. It's the same room I'd lived in the year before, so that was nice. I met my roommate. It's like, oh, hey, how you doing? We go to bed, and the next morning he's packing up all of his stuff to leave. I'm like, classes haven't even started yet. It's not even the weekend yet, I don't think. But yeah, he left, so I thought, cool, I got the room to myself. And I think like a few weeks later or a few months later or something, I get a knock on the door, and I open it up, and a guy's on the other side going, hey, I'm your new roommate. Oh, okay. And when he moved in, he had a couple pony figurines, plushies of Pinkie Pie and Twilight, and a little drawing scrawled on his fridge of Pinkie Pie. And I'm like, what? Okay, if that's your thing, I guess. And then I thought, my wife and I both thought, oh, she was my girlfriend at the time, and we both thought, oh, maybe there's something to this. I mean, we both know of good shows aimed for kids, like Fairly Odd Parents and stuff like that. So it's like, let's try this out. So we tried it out. We watched the pilot, and we're like, that wasn't very good.
I had the same reaction. So
yeah,
where to go from there then?
We watched a few more, and we're like, okay. And I was just like, all right, interesting. And I told my roommate, I've watched a few episodes, and I kid you not, went, who's your favorite pony? I'm like,
why did I imagine him suddenly like a fedora coming from the heavens onto his head as he said that?
Oh my god.
he was, I guess, what you'd call I don't know if masculine's the right word, but no other part of his personality meshed with Brony.
So
or at least
he was
what
a
I
closet
thought.
Brony.
Oh, he was very open about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he didn't hide that from anybody. I've heard he's since left the fandom, which is a little too bad. It's like, but I stopped watching, and my wife kept watching, and she said, okay, look, episode, I think it was 9, the Zecora episode, she's like, Fluttershy has this really deep voice. It's hilarious. You got to keep watching. So I'm like, okay, fine. So I kept watching, and I'm like, okay, this isn't terrible, but gosh, I'm not a Brony. But I'll just finish the whole series just to see what it's all about.
Famous last words.
So I finished the whole series, and then my wife showed me this video of like the 7 steps when you become a Brony, and I watched it. And I'm like, damn it, I'm a Brony. So,
You mean it wasn't like a radical thing for you where you see 2 episodes and you realize you're covered in pony merch?
I don't remember when I started getting my first pony merch, but I think it was even after season 3 had started, because when I caught up fully to the show, the Cranky Doodle Donkey episode had just come out.
Oh wow, yeah, that's deep.
Right, so, yeah.
Yeah. So I've been in it for a while.
Awesome.
And when I told my roommate I'm a Brony, he showed me that welcome to the herd picture, as you do. I did that for my brother and my best friend. Both of whom are like, I'm never getting into this, and both of whom did. yeah, so I
Alrighty.
got into it that way through a college roommate and my wife.
Cool.
Good job.
Uh-huh.
This
Haven't
next
regretted it.
set- This next set of questions seem to be from someone who's read your stuff before and is a fan.
The last one should probably not ask, but the first two, go for it.
Okay. What story, if you could have a team of the MLP writers look at, would you have them monkey with to make a story or to make an episode?
Probably either Tails or Princess Celestia Gets Mugged. One of those two
Interesting.
just seems to be most in keeping with the theme. For anybody who doesn't know, Princess Celestia Gets Mugged is exactly what it sounds like. Princess Celestia disguises herself as a Pegasus just to have a day off, and she gets mugged and kidnapped. It's an E-rated comedy, and just all the misadventures therein. And Tails is the Cutie Mark Crusaders try to get their cutie marks by cutting off the tails of their sisters, so Rarity, Applejack, and Rainbow Dash, and switching them around. So let me think. I think Rarity got Applejack's tail. I think Rainbow got Rarity's, and Applejack got Rainbow's, or something like that. And it was just a fun little story. So I think those two are the ones that I've written that are most show appropriate, maybe, or at least most in keeping with the theme of the show. They could be an episode if they really needed to. So yeah, I guess those two.
Alrighty. The next question. Let's say you get hired on to the MLP writers group, whatever they call it, the cast.
Yeah.
If you could make an episode of the show, what sort of theme or moral would you try and put into the episode?
That's a good question. I know if I had to write one, it'd be a Celestia Slice of Life episode. Because good grief, we need one.
Oh, we've been so due for a Celestia-centric or Celestia point of view episode.
We're also due for an episode where Celestia solves a problem.
Yes, thank you.
Instead of sticking Twilight on it, yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
I have seen the finale, so if there are any questions regarding that, I have seen the rest of I've finished season 6, so just to let you know on that. A theme or a moral? Don't be a douche.
Nailed it. That's what kids these days need to learn.
Yeah. It's like, what will ultimately... I mean, I guess they might have touched on that a touch with the Diamond Tiara Cutie Mark Crusaders get their Cutie Mark episode, but I don't think they've ever truly done an episode of how hurtful that kind of thing can truly be.
I think they kind of did with the Babs one.
A little bit, but I don't know if they went as all in as they could have. Or, I mean, it was a typical kids show bullying episode. You could have changed that out with a few others and not changed the story all that much. So I'd like to see them go in a slightly different direction with that. Something that shows, no, this can actually be traumatic. Seriously, don't be a douche. It's only going to hurt you in the end, on top of everybody else.
Honestly, I was kind of expecting the moral you were going to say was do your taxes.
Don't mug people.
Yeah. If you're a serial killer, here's how you don't get caught.
All right.
I do a lot of serial killer stories, I've noticed. I've done Rarity, Twilight. I guess she wasn't a serial killer. Murderer, then. Rarity, Twilight, Fluttershy, and Applejack.
Oh, man. Do we got some repressed urges going on here?
I'm a Grimdark fan. What can I say? Although they turn into more tragedies than Grimdarks. Secret Life of Rarity was, I guess, is what you'd call my first popular story.
Right.
The first one that was really any good at all.
Alrighty. Now we're going to go to a set of questions from Carrier of Heartbreak.
Oh, here we go.
His first question is, how easy is it for you to just sit down and write for a decent period of time?
It used to be easier. I don't know why it started getting more difficult, but it used to be easier. I mean, if I really push, then I could get something done.
Is it more distractions? Is it just your standards are higher?
Distractions and my brain just like going fuzzy, my will getting sapped out to do it. Like, we could be doing this, or we could be playing Grand Theft Auto. You still haven't beaten it.
We need to break into the military base.
Yeah.
Hey, what if I just want to go bowling? Okay.
I think it's
Cousin.
time that I know this might be controversial, but I think it's time that we, as a species, come together and admit that Grand Theft Auto 4 was not a good game. Graphics, great. I mean, not now, but for the time they were great. Boring characters, mediocre voice acting, stupid story, and Roman.
I gotta be honest, like it kind of springtailing off that. When I got Grand Theft Auto 4 for PC, I played it for like 2 hours, and I'm like, this is boring.
Yeah.
I didn't see what the big deal was, and then when I jumped into Grand Theft Auto 5, it started with a bank heist, and I'm like, oh, this is great.
Here we go.
This is what I wanted.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Alrighty. We'll go to Carrier's next question. What parts of a story do you typically hate writing, but of course do it anyway because the story requires it?
The introductions, like the first few paragraphs of a story, because I can never flip and figure out how. And obviously, you gotta have that, even if you're doing in media res. But I think that's how you pronounce it. You gotta have the first few paragraphs of the story just to get the setting down, the tone down, maybe some of the characters. But I never know how to start it. So, for example, one of the stories that I have that's coming up is called Paralyzed, and it's an Apple Bloom Grimdark story.
Do we get spoilers here? Are we getting spoilers?
No, I don't want to do spoilers. It's
Okay.
I don't know if Grimdark's quite the. It's an Apple Bloom horror story.
Ooh.
Yeah, I hope to make it really creepy, and I'd probably have more done on it if I could figure out how to flip and start the thing.
Fair enough.
Well, I have a suggestion. I suggest you start at the beginning and you write to the end, and when you come to the end, stop. There you go.
That reference, though.
Sorry.
Bonus points out into the chat for anyone who gets the reference.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
All right. I think this next question is really fun for almost every writer. Do you wish you wrote any of your stories differently? Is there anything that you would have changed if you were given the option?
Yeah. I think in my story, TD the Alicorn Princess, and by extension the Prince, I think I made the Alicorns a little too powerful. And I still might do this, especially for the print release of TD the Alicorn Princess. If I could go back, I'd depower them a bit. Because right now, the way I have it is the only things that can kill an alicorn is this thing called a nightmare weapon that was made by Nightmare Moon during the Civil War of when Luna got turned into Nightmare Moon. The ensuing Civil War, she made X amount of nightmare weapons to kill Celestia. It's basically weapons infused with dark magic, like spears and swords and whatever. That just painfully sucks the life out of the alicorn, and that's the way I have it. That's the only thing that can kill them. Like,
Really? You call them nightmare weapons?
I did. It seemed it was I could have done worse. And it makes battle scenes not quite as tense as they could be, because it's just, oh well, he's being surrounded by 1,000 minotaurs or whatever. None of them can hurt him that long. So it's like, kind of, but I'd depower the alicorns a bit.
I think that's pretty fair.
Yeah.
Now, you used a set of words that I always love to hear from guests, and they are print release. So
Yeah. Yes.
how many sort of print projects have you worked on? Obviously, you're working on one right now.
Mhm.
What led you to want to kind of release your own book of pony writing, and how are you doing it? Like, plug your stuff a little bit. Go ahead.
Yeah. I figured it was the one that was T, the Alicorn Princess. I figured it was the one that was just in a place where I would need to do the least amount of work, the least amount of cleaning up to make it into a print book. Plus, it was also my longest story. It's just shy of 250,000 words.
Right.
I've never written anything that long before. So it just seemed like the best option. I know I thought about The Secret Life of Rarity at one point, but having matured as a writer, I look back at The Secret Life of Rarity and go, yeah, that ain't ready. That needs some work. There's other stuff that I would change. The second thing I'd probably change is some scenes in The Secret Life of Rarity, like the Diamond Dog chapter. I would change that. It was stupid and the tone did not fit.
Would you change any of your human characters?
Drink.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
I hear clinking of glasses. This is the way to go.
Yeah. Not really, actually. I like them. I mean, main human character that I've written is,
Drink.
TD.
Yeah. And I know we have some questions about that later on too. So you'll have
I
to.
will bet. That's the only reason I'm sitting here talking to you right now. Is the TD stories.
Oh boy.
So many other human characters are just. I'm sorry. I keep going.
This is great.
This is it. This is where we're at.
This is as it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Many of those characters are just kind of side characters. I mean, in the next TD Alicorn book, there will be another one of those characters
So careful.
who's has a bit bigger of a role, and I'm hoping that one starts coming out in the next few weeks or so, because I want to finish The Prince today. I'm on the last chapter of that.
Awesome.
So-
And then are you going to sell that through Lulu? Seems to be really popular. Is that what you're going to use, or you have some other method?
Yeah, I think that's. I mean, obviously, I'm going to go weigh my options, but I've heard that one's the best. So, I mean, to answer your previous question of what have I edited for, I edited a bit, not a lot, but a bit, for Changar Kordath's print version of Life and Times of a Winning Pony. And he's doing a re-release of that, I believe, with some other short stories in that continuity thrown in. And I have been editing that as well. So, supposed to be the second print book that I've worked on. But in terms of the prints, gee, I don't know. It wasn't quite as good as the first one. But at the same time, it's also one of those, well, TD the Alicorn Princess ends on a cliffhanger, so
Ooh.
maybe I'm obligated to. We'll see how TD the Alicorn Princess goes. I mean, I know I mentioned it in a blog post a couple days ago, and I had a couple people go, "Oh, can I be on the list to buy that?" I'm fairly certain I'll sell a fair few copies, and if anyone does want a print version, just message me and let me know so I can have a general idea of what kind of orders.
Well, there you go. That's the best way to do it. Go ahead and message BronyWriter if you want to go buy his book. Go support your pony writers. Who knows? If you ask nicely, maybe he'll even autograph it for you.
Fucking do it.
Totally will. I do want to go to a convention with a big stack of them and sell them there. I saw an author doing that, and I bought one. I forget what the book was called. I have it on my bookshelf. I never even read it on FinFiction, but I've made it my goal to collect as many print versions of stuff as I can, so I have that life and times and past sins.
Well, it's good that you're supporting other writers.
Yeah.
What is our next carrier question, Priest?
Our next carrier question is, how do you motivate yourself to write?
I just think of all of the cool stuff that I'm going to put in a chapter. The thing that I love most in any story that I write is comments. So I can know what I'm both doing right and wrong. Especially the wrong. I would not be where I am today as an author if I hadn't had people go, "Oh, by the way, that was awful," or "You have a real problem with comma splices," or whatever. But I just love posting a chapter of something and just having the people reading it go, "Oh my gosh, you did not just do that." And I'm like, I totally did. Just I love it when readers freak out at something I've posted, or they're just affected by it at all. Like, wow, that was really powerful, or that was hilarious. I love this line. One of the things I love doing is writing a line that I'm like, oh, they're gonna laugh at this, and then seeing a couple of comments going, I laugh my ass off at that, with like 10 thumbs up on those comments. It's like, yes. I love making people laugh. It's one of my favorite things to do, just ever.
Very much for the writer then. And in fact, speaking of making people laugh, I noticed as I was doing my research on you, I was studying you.
Whoa, Priest!
You actually
Priest, do I need to be jealous?
maybe a little, because
fuck,
this
man.
guy,
Okay.
this awesome guy wrote for Cracked a few times and shared it.
I did 4 times now.
Okay.
That's really awesome.
That is
to
really
see
cool.
how people from Pony are actually working and trying to branch out to other areas and really diversify themselves.
Yep.
Now then, the next question. The next question is, what do you do while you write? Do you listen to music? Do you snack? What do you do? What's your writing process as you write?
I just try to focus completely on the writing. I don't listen to music. I try to drown out as many sometimes it's not always possible. I have one of those, stupid science classes that I could put in 10 minutes of work at the very end of the semester and get, a B or a C plus or whatever. Anyone who's been to college knows the type, just the 100 level classes you don't really have to try for. And I bring my computer and I sit in the very back and I write. I have updated a couple times actually, just doing that. just writing in the science class. I mean, obviously I look up every now and again, one, to pretend I'm paying attention, and two, to try to get some of the information involved. But yeah, I try to drown out as many distractions as I can. And sometimes I'll take a little break. It can be kind of draining just writing for hours.
It definitely can, yes.
But yeah, especially when you do it the way I do, just make it up. Like sometimes you just totally get stuck. When I do that, I try to just write whatever BS comes to my head, and then I go, okay, I got what I'm going to delete that and start up again. But yeah, no music, no TV. Maybe I'll snack every once in a while, but yeah. And I do most of my best writing at night. If it's 2 a.m, I'm probably doing okay with the writing. I'm a total night owl.
That's awesome. When you do write, how many words do you typically get down?
It depends on the day. Sometimes as little as 10, but I once, on like a 5-6 hour desk shift, banged out an 11,000 word story, which was not very good, but I did it. Yeah, it can. So yeah, those are the two sides. Those are the two extremes. There's no typical. I guess if we're gonna average it out, maybe 2,000-3,000 words. I guess.
I think that's pretty fair. That's about probably the minimum length you can get away with for a good chapter.
Yeah.
and then you follow up for editing and stuff, and that usually
Mhm.
expands and contrasts stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take only one more question from Carrier because we have a whole bunch of stuff to get to.
Mhm.
But
I'm here as long as you need me.
if you had all of your human followers in a room, drink.
Yay!
If you could tell them one thing, just directly to your followers, what would it be?
Thank you. I cannot overstress how much your support means to me. Just thank you so much. You've changed my life with your support. I wouldn't be the man I am today without my writing and you guys reading it and commenting and following and all of that, especially the criticism. I've improved as a writer a lot because of criticism. Constructive criticism, not "you're the dumbest thing ever" kind of stuff, but constructive criticism. And that's helped me in other aspects of my life too. My college papers got a lot better once I started being actually, like a good writer. So yeah, I mean, that's the big thing. Just say thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for everything.
I think that's really sweet.
Yeah.
So we're gonna
nice.
let's move on down then to some fun rapid fire questions. We're going down to Bendy.
Well, let's do the first easy question. Just yes or no. Have you heard of Wakfu?
No.
There you go. Next question.
All right. Who would win in a fight with Princess Celestia?
Anybody?
Oh wait, no. Could you win a fight with Princess Celestia?
There you go, baby.
Oh, could I win a fight with Princess Celestia?
Yes.
I don't know. How hard am I breathing in her general direction?
Do you at least have a gun?
Heavy breathing.
I don't need a gun. I just kind of need to ask her nicely, even. Hey, it's for the plot, and Twilight will save you, and she'll learn a bunch of friendship lessons. So, and then I uppercut her, and she goes, "Oh, okay," and goes down, and whatever.
And she falls dramatically and skids across the floor, and her crown bounces off and clinks against the tile. Yeah.
You pat her on the back like no hard feelings, and she falls over and passes out.
Yeah.
She just raises her head.
It's funny
weakly.
how much I've made her 100 times more powerful. Even Princess Celestia gets mugged than the show writers ever did. It's like, I get that you want to have you don't want to have her be so powerful that she can solve everything. I totally get that, but there's got to be a balance. We've never seen Celestia beat anything stronger than a want it, need it spell. I mean, in flashbacks, it's like, oh, Celestia beat Luna with the elements of harmony, but just on her own merit, we've never seen Celestia beat anything other than a want it, need it spell, as far as I can remember. So, could I win in a fight with Celestia? Yeah. An inanimate
Yay!
in a fight with Princess Celestia, as the show has presented her.
Could any human win in a fight with Princess Celestia? Yep, that's exactly what I was going for. There you go.
Yeah, probably almost any of them.
I'm imagining this boxing match between Celestia and some random human.
Human? Wait, that's two humans. Damn it, that's a third. Okay.
Everybody drink.
We've all seen Breaking Bad here, right?
Next question.
So, like the guy in the wheelchair with the bell, yeah, he could probably do it.
Next question on that note.
Would you burn a book in front of Twilight Sparkle?
Yeah.
Oh.
Next question.
Is it Mein Kampf?
Yeah. Okay. I have read part of Mein Kampf. I don't think people fully realize how dumb that book is. Like, it's not good. I'm not even talking it's a bad book in terms of, oh, the content is terrible and hateful. No, it's a dumb book. It's a bad, poorly written mess.
Welcome to the Good HIE Book Club, where we talk about Mein Kampf. Next question,
that book
please.
is boring. And I'm a history major, and I'm like, this is so boring. I couldn't finish it. It was too boring.
All right. Would you give Twilight the book Twilight to read?
Yeah.
Just watch her
All
scream.
right.
Oh
agony.
man, just
So
straight up,
fair.
yes.
I probably would, and then take it and burn it in front of her.
Good.
Excellent. Perfect.
Actually,
There you
no.
go.
That she would probably like you because of that. Anyway, why? Oh God. Why do the vampires in Twilight sparkle?
I see what you did there, Bendy. I see what you did.
Well, it's sort of like a.
I don't think that was a serious question.
No,
No.
You don't have to worry
Let
about
me
this
answer
one.
this. No, it's
Okay.
it's like I think it's a mating ritual kind of thing. It's like when a peacock spreads its feathers, hey, I'm hot, right? And
Can we
then
just have a soundbite of you saying that, and that can be our ringtone?
Hey, I'm hot, right? Welcome to the
I'm
Good
hot,
HIE
right?
podcast.
Yeah. Go ahead, I don't care. But it's also their way of it's kind of like corn snakes versus I forget. I used to know this. The snakes that look like they have the same color stripes, but
Coral
they have a
snakes?
different pattern that shows you which one's poisonous or not. It's like
No.
a milk snake and a coral snake. That's what it was.
Coral snake, yeah.
I was so sure you were gonna say
I know
some
the
sort-
rhyme.
So, I was
Yeah,
so
red
sure.
touches yellow, you're a dead fella. Red touches black, you're okay, Jack.
I was
Yeah.
so
And the
sure you
variations
were gonna
therein.
say it's some form of vampire bioluminescence.
Okay, what's the next question,
Well, I mean,
Brady?
it's
Okay.
basically your way to tell these aren't real vampires.
Okay. Moving on.
Anyway.
Now we got some questions from Snuffy, who's a fan of yours.
Hi,
um,
Snuffy.
Hi, Snuffy.
He says, I didn't have the stomach to read more than one chapter of The Secret Life of Rarity,
Mhm.
but he was really impressed you had the balls to even attempt such a story. What was it like to write that story, and how did the readers react upon receiving it?
It was very much a. I enjoyed it because, like I said, I enjoyed the dark stuff. Like I think 5 or 6 of the movies on my top 10 favorite films all time are horror. My favorite movie character is Hannibal Lecter. Stuff like that. So it was fun for me. I actually didn't like Rarity as a character before I started writing that, but after I started writing it, I really grew to like her because what I had to do to make the story as good as possible is I had to dissect Rarity's brain, if you will, to see where in her personality can I fit serial killer.
I was
And
so
I grew
sure
to
you were
like
gonna
the
say.
character as a result. And the reactions to The Secret Life of Rarity were back then, and still, for the most part, continue to be pretty positive, especially for some of the really dramatic scenes. Like Sweetie Belle finding out, and the scene with the mother and her filly, and the ending got a lot of people. I still get comments on that. Comments on the final few chapters, like, dude, wow. So that was nice. It was only my third story, and here I am, like, getting positive feedback. Like, people are saying they really like it, and that was great for me.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next question.
Uh-huh.
Snuffy asks, would you rather mug Celestia or Luna?
Would I rather what?
Mug.
Bug. Are we talking
Or as in, like,
wiretapping or
Like your
Celestia,
story,
Celestia.
would you
Feel.
rather
Mug.
mug?
Oh, mug. Okay, I'm sorry. I heard
it's fine.
bug. Would I rather mug Celestia or Luna? Probably Celestia, because as in my story, she'd play along with it. She'd find it amusing.
And even if she didn't, it doesn't sound like she'd be much of a fight for you.
No, probably not. But I think she'd find it amusing. I think Luna would go, "Excuse me," and then snap me in half. But I think Celestia would take the whole thing with fairly good humor. I think.
Fair
Oh
enough.
yes, strange human, take my gold necklace or whatever. I'm sure you can
Drink.
pawn this off.
Everybody drink, and
Oh, the humanity.
what's
I'm
next?
gonna fix
Oh,
a
God.
couple of things here. Human, 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 human.
Well,
Wow.
everybody just start down in alcohol. What is our next question?
Snuffy really likes your slice of life stories. When are you gonna write another one?
Well, I am working. I need to get more of it done. By that I mean I needed to start it, but the YouTuber Commander Firebrand, he's Fiery
Oh.
Joker on FinFiction.
I know him.
Yeah,
What is
him
that
and I are
about?
collabing on a slice of life story involving Rainbow Dash in flight camp as a flight camp counselor, and one of the things that happens to her. So that would be slice of life. And I also kind of want the third TD the Alicorn Princess book to be a little more slice of lifey, kind of in the same vein as the first one, and maybe a little bit more like Life of a Non-Brony too. That's pretty slice of life.
Hey, Enigma. It's not
Slice-
wifey enough.
Slice of life, he ain't very white.
Wow.
Whoa.
Welcome to the In Jokes podcast.
Oh,
Nick,
tell him.
you poor little piece of shit. Yeah. So BronyWriter, Enigmatic Otaku, who you might know for writing that one story about dragon tits. He
Nope.
once upon a time decided to write his first fan fiction. And what was the subject, Enigma?
It was for Fire Emblem.
It was Fire Emblem. And what did a female character say in this?
I'm sorry, I'm not wifey enough. At that point, I decided no, fanfiction's not for me.
And then you wrote about dragon tits. Oh, how the mighty have fallen even further. Enigma, you are such shit. How?
Look
I'm
up.
sorry, I'm not wifey enough. Like wife.
Yes.
With the Y at the end.
My wife has never told me that.
That's because you have good taste.
Unlike Enigma.
And to be fair, I've never told my wife that either.
Hey, this podcast is about BronyWriter, not me.
Now you have
Alright.
something to share in private
Yeah,
company. With
She's
your
gonna get
wife.
home from work, and I'm gonna be standing next to the door, having broken something. I'm sorry, I'm not wifey enough. She's gonna look at me like I'm crazy. But she does it at least three or four times a day.
Well,
Think
that's how
something
you know
else.
you're doing something right. Trust me.
Yeah. Life is too stupid to take seriously.
Yes.
Yes, it really is.
Alrighty. Number 4, and then we'll move off Snuffy to more questions.
Because I think the other answers are pretty well established after that.
You've written so much for FinFiction. Have you put any thoughts into not necessarily real writing per se, but have you put a lot of thought or attempt into getting like a book published?
Well, other than the printed TD the Alicorn Princess book, I've thought about doing my own work, my original fiction, and I've a few ideas, one of which would be semi-autobiographical, but nothing I've started on or anything like that. That's more my brother's scene. My younger brother graduated from Grove City in Pennsylvania with an English degree, and he wants to write published books and stuff. So, kind of, but not really, I guess is the overall answer.
No, that's fair. You plenty of time to think on it, so
Yeah.
not to worry.
Yep.
All right. I think we have some rapid fire questions coming up.
All right.
Are we
Alright.
looking at
Nestor? I am
Nestor-
looking at
Nestor.
Nestor's questions. We'll just do and you can say pass on any of these, but we're gonna do some fun, silly, and weird questions. Are you prepared?
Go right ahead. Hit me with
quick
your best
yes/no
shot.
ones? All right. Nestor asks, "Can I punch Bendy?"
Punch
Bendy
who?
Bendy. He for a while held the crown for most stories written on FinFiction.
Oh, I don't know him. Go ahead. Everyone
Alright.
does something to deserve being punched in the face at some point.
All right.
Sure.
Would you rather be a ghoul or a quarter dragon and another magical being? Huh.
A ghoul, I guess. I could haunt the people I don't like.
Yay!
Fuck around
Ghouls
with them,
get
you know.
more love.
Isn't a ghoul not a corporeal thing, though?
No, it depends. There are different versions. You know, if you play Fallout, you know that. Anyway,
Let's see. Who do you want to punch in the dick the most right now?
Their names are Michael Fuller and this is a real name, Montez Butts.
Oh,
Montez
that
Butts?
poor man.
Yep.
Oh.
Who the hell is Montez Butts?
One of the most cowardly, ignorant, paranoid, moronic men I have ever met in my life.
Huh.
Explain. if you
That's
want to.
fantastic. But
Alrighty.
Maybe someday.
maybe someday. Anyway.
Let's see. The next question is: would you ever send nudes to another person?
What?
Would you send nudes to somebody?
Like your
Why would I
wife?
need to send nudes to my wife when she can see it whenever she wants? I don't.
There you go. That's a fair answer.
Hey.
Yeah.
Now, if you're in Equestria, what about a pony? Same answer?
Sure. I don't know. Would I send nudes to Twilight or whatever?
Yes.
Is that what you're
Yeah.
But here's the thing: would they even see it as erotic because they're naked all the time?
It was like, huh, look, that's what he looks like under those clothes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Why did this come with a caption? Am I wifey enough?
Stop. Okay, moving on. Do you believe people when they say nice things to you, or do you assume they're lying? Why?
I believe him. I think inherently most people aren't dicks. So when I, read a nice comment on one of my stories or something like that, I don't believe they're lying. Why would I? Yeah, I mean, I know there are people who have said supportive things to me and they're lying out their ass, CA aforementioned Montez Butts. But yeah, I believe people when they say nice things to me.
Awesome. Do you think Cadence was only made so that they could make toys?
Yeah.
Suck it, priest.
She's
I mean,
best pony. It's fine.
It's not best pony.
Well,
You
I
can
mean-
suck it, priest.
I mean, look, the whole show was just made to sell toys. It's just, I don't want to say happy accident because the people behind it are very, very talented. But it's a merchandising show first and foremost for Hasbro. I mean, for the people working on it, we would want to present quality show first and foremost. I know for Lauren Faust especially is a passion project. And I still don't know how my wife.
Girls, yeah.
I still don't know how my wife got Lauren Faust to make my Unity candle or to help make my Unity candle for our wedding. I still don't know how.
What?
That's
Yeah.
super nice.
Is there a story behind this? I want to hear this story.
Okay, so my wife got my family to hand make my Unity candle so that she showed me a video of my grandparents, my siblings, her, and my parents, saying, "Oh, all these nice things about me that weren't lies," and she, they would dip, the weight and the string into a pot of hot wax, and the very final thing that popped up was Lauren Faust. The very final scene in the video was Lauren Faust, and she tied the weight to the string after saying a few nice things.
Aw.
Yeah, I didn't. My wife said that she will remember the look on my face when Lauren Faust popped on the screen forever. I'll bet. I was shocked. I'm like, what? So now she's set a very high bar, obviously, for like our anniversary. I got to get her something good for our anniversary because she got Lauren Faust to help make my Unity candle. It was just, oh man. But yeah. But yes, to answer your previous question, yes, Cadence was made to sell toys. Not as egregiously as the Rainbow Power main six, which Still think the designs for those are terrible. But yes.
Okay. So Cadence came into existence and she was like, "So what's my purpose?" And Hasbro was like, "To make toys." And she was like,
Oh my god.
my god."
And she responded, "I thought I was here to just hear the lamentations of their women, and no, to sell toys."
Oh man, just references all day today.
Mm-hmm.
Let's skip down to questions from Major Dude.
Oh, we got one.
He
and
asked an extremely important question.
This is
Okay.
vital. This is vital.
Pepsi or Coke?
Coke.
Good man.
Ooh,
You have
Good.
chosen
Good.
wisely.
You did.
Mm-hmm.
We
Not
are,
to
we
say
are
that I hate Pepsi, but yeah, Coke.
Coca-Cola sponsored
Or
podcast, so that's
Dr.
fine.
Pepper, honestly. But yeah, Coke.
Alrighty. Now let's go to questions from Dark Whip that are actually pony related.
All right.
Do you plan on writing anything related to changelings in non-Bronyverse?
Yes. I mean, I already
Ooh.
did. TD is part changeling because he ran into their hive, but I don't think I've made this a secret. Yeah, Chrysalis is coming back for revenge. Plus, in the Prince, the changelings allied against Equestria, so they had a big battle scene with them. So I've done a fair amount with changelings in the non-Bronyverse already. But yeah, there's more coming up for them. Now, will I add what the changelings have become in the season finale to the non-Bronyverse?
La, 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 la.
Spoilers.
That is tied to the next question. Keep in mind, they do want to ask, what do you think of the questions from the season 6 finale?
You want
But
me
if
to like
you
disconnect my
can,
headphones? Can I like?
if you can, try to do it in a non-spoiler way.
Okay. Wait, what was the question?
What
Like,
do you
I'll
think
talk
of the
movies,
change?
though.
What do you think of the changelings from the season 6 finale? And you mentioned, are they going to come? Is that going to be a factor in your story? So if you
I
can answer
really
those in a
doubt it.
non-spoiler way, okay.
I really doubt it, but I thought it was interesting.
interesting is a fair assessment, and it is very non-spoilery.
Yeah.
At least all I heard you say was, "Are they gonna come?"
Wow.
Of course you did, Enigma. Of course you did. That's all you ever
Hey. Changelings harvest love a little differently than that.
hear. That we know.
So I've heard.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take this out of the chat because I like puns. Do you like ponies? Cause you just got ponied. Oh.
God damn it! Did you actually fucking read that? You Praise,
Hey,
what the
here's the
shit?
thing. Here's the thing that most people don't understand about puns. Puns can be very effective if you use them as precision weapons, not blunt force trauma. Is how I view puns. There's nothing inherently wrong with puns, but you gotta use them right. Precision weapons. Slide them in there, not beat you over the head with it.
I didn't make a sex joke about slide it in there. Everyone should be proud of me. Can we move on before I do?
Yeah, no, we really got to pony up.
God
Puns
fucking damn it, Priest!
Puns are punny.
Oh, stop, Enigma, stop.
Dark
Hey,
Whip then
A
asks.
good pun is its own reword.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. If TD comes back to the human world, will he still be an Alicorn prince?
Drink.
No
comment.
Okay. Awesome.
Ooh,
Now we got some questions from Redshirt, one of our group admins. At what point did it seem like a good idea to come on this podcast?
When you asked.
Aww,
I've seen that you do a podcast before, and I'm like, ooh, that'd be fun. But
Yeah,
poor soul, you poor soul.
we tend to get around.
Priest, that's only because I sell you.
Stop.
No?
So, I mean, but
even now
you
he's
use
in a
protection when you get around as often as you do, right? Or do you have like a lot of prescriptions? For
Nah, we do shit
stuff?
raw and you know, bareback because this is horses, so I gotta make a bareback pun.
They also use bubble wrap.
What? For what?
For the shipping, of course.
I'm done. You guys can do this.
That was actually good, Enigma. Good job. Good
You can
job.
do this podcast without me. I'm done.
Priest has already admitted that he kept me in his basement for as long as
Oh.
That's what he said when he posted the questions thread that I should been keeping me in his basement. It's an okay basement. I wish he had cable and something above a GameCube, but
Hey, Melee is the best game to ever grace the GameCube.
Yes,
Okay,
it
priest.
yeah,
Priest.
it was really good.
Priest.
I had a GameCube growing up, still do.
Is your basement better than my closet?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god!
But it's not better than my closet.
Jesus,
Hey,
priest.
you want to buy a flutter priest?
was.
Wow. Priest, you insult her closet after she added a feeding tube just for you.
Hold on now. I'm still owed Priest for 2 weeks. I'm still waiting on him to show up.
Anyway, so next
All right.
question, please.
Red Shirt then asks, what was the inspiration for your magnum opus?
I
Whatever
assume he's
you
referring-
consider your magnum opus to be, of course.
I guess we'd go with TD the Alicorn Princess because I do think it's my best one right now. And the inspiration from it was basically, ooh, wouldn't that be funny? And it just kind of ballooned to what it is now. Like the original TD story. It was never meant to be anything more than like a 40,000 word funny story, but then it turned into 250,000 words with a sequel and another sequel coming out soon. But yeah, it was just like, wouldn't this be funny? Because one of the big draws of TD is just seeing how I fuck with him. Just seeing what I do to him. I've done so much to that guy. I've killed him a few times. So it became popular largely because of the Schadenfreude aspect of it. It's just, oh, he turns into a girl and an alicorn? Oh yeah, sign me up. This is hilarious. So yeah, basically, I thought it would be funny, and then it morphed. It got out of my control.
Nice.
Yeah.
Next question is, do you have any regrets related to starting to write pony fiction?
Not a one.
Ta-da!
Like, my family's supportive of it. My wife obviously loves it. I mean, yeah, I've had people who are like, "Oh, you do that?" I had one person say to me, "Any respect I might have even had for you as a brony is just gone now." And I'm like, "Well, fuck you too." I would have said that if he wasn't one of my bosses.
Oh.
Oh.
Yes,
And he was
sir,
a
right away.
manager. I'll stress. He was a manager. He was like a 1.5 steps above where I was, but yeah, he was just a dick.
So, have you ever gotten recognized by a fan before?
Are we talking just I'm out day to day?
No, I mean in general, like you've met a fan in real life.
Outside of conventions?
No,
Well,
at conventions.
even conventions too.
Oh, conventions, it happens all the time. It's easy for conventions because I have panels on them and people to hear BronyWriter speak. But I know my brother and one of his friends both separately have talked to people who are bronies, and they both go, and they've asked, "Oh, do you know who BronyWriter is?" And the response both time was, "Yeah, I totally do. I love his stories." So I haven't, but other people have. But in conventions, oh yeah, it happens all the time. People ask for autographs, photos, which humbles me so much. It's like, I'm not that good. But no, I love it. It really adds like a, how do I put this? It adds some, I don't want to say realism to it, but it just helps me understand, no, these aren't people. These aren't just accounts on a computer screen that I'm entertaining and affecting. These are people. And that's, yeah, it's great.
You know, I just realized that you sound a bit like James Woods.
James.
What the fuck are you talking
Where is
about?
that coming from?
Yeah.
I'm hearing Hades.
No. Okay. Why does this keep happening to me? So, when I was at BabsCon the other day, or last BabsCon, Terry Klassen said, you look just like this one Canadian hockey player." And I looked at the picture of the guy, and nobody else agreed. I forget what the guy's name was, but he played for the Montreal Canadiens. I think he still does, but I forget who it was. And it's like, no. Everyone I showed it to, like, do I look like this guy? Went, no. It's like, okay, seeing walking in Memphis with Terry Claxton, and he thinks he looked like a Canadian hockey player.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
I gotta ask because you mentioned BabsCon. Was it this last year?
Yep.
Were you at Horizon's party by chance? The writer meetup?
I missed it, I think. I was the VIP liaison for Denny Liu at that BabsCon.
Oh, okay.
Great guy, by the way. He's great. He's very nice, very interesting to talk to, all that fun stuff. So,
I was just wondering if we had the chance that maybe we met offhand. So, okay. Anyway, we got a bunch of questions still in the thread. We'll go to Vylon, who
We're doing rapid fires?
Um,
Yeah, I see a couple of these that look like rapid fires. We already answered that first one.
yeah, there's quite a few ones here that we already had. Have you thought about reviewing some of your best works and posting it as a blog?
It would seem a little narcissistic of me, I think, just to go, hey, these are my best works. Yep, pat myself on the back. Be great. I mean, I do review other stories. There's this group on FimFiction reading sins. And I do those. I do those sometimes. I've done reading sins for like Princess Celestia Hates Tea, A Puppet to Her Fame, My Philly Nightshine. I prefer to do ones for popular stories as opposed to the low-hanging fruit of some crack fic, But yeah, I don't think I'd ever review my own stories because I don't know if I could be objective about it. Other people see my stories a different way, and that's more helpful to me. That really helps me gauge, okay, here's the actual quality of the story. So yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Alrighty. What question do you think is your forte, and what draws you to it?
What genre, you mean, not question? What genre is your forte?
If it doesn't sound too conceited, I think I'm the best serial killer author on the site. I know that might sound a little conceited, but it's what people tell me. I managed to successfully turn Fluttershy into a serial killer, keeping her completely in character and in a way that it's like, oh, this could actually happen on the show kind of thing, which people also think I did with The Secret Life of Rarity. So, especially because it's a genre that not a lot of people dip their toes into, if you will. I think I'm good at Human and Equestria too.
Drink.
Yep. But more people indulge in that genre, attempt to write. I mean, there's 100 times more HIE fics than there are serial killer stories on the site. So yeah, I guess serial killer stories.
Awesome.
All
As
right.
to what draws me to them, I just like it. It's just fun.
You just keep doing what you're doing, man.
Yeah, as long as you have fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'm scrolling down through a bunch that we've already kind of answered, and now I'm hitting on the question is, what is hardest and the easiest thing about writing for you? You already mentioned struggling with kind of the first few paragraphs of a story, but what is the easiest thing for you?
I think I'm good at writing dialogue. I don't know what it is. It just kind of flows naturally for me sometimes. I mean, not all the time. Sometimes I sit there and go, okay, what would this character say? But I flow more naturally when I'm writing dialogue between 2 or 3 characters. Generally 2 characters. Yeah, and the hardest would still be starting the stories.
So, yeah. Alrighty. The next question is, what is the best or most memorable compliment you've ever received?
Best or most memorable compliment I've ever received.
While you're thinking, I know it's quite common for some people who really, really work a lot on the site that someone will message you and say things like, I came home when you posted a new story or a new chapter. This really made my day. I had a horrible day, and you make it easier to come home at the end of the day. Things like that, or
I've gotten a few of those. On my story, TD punches everything. One of the comments was, "This turned my bad day at work into a good one," and I always appreciate stuff like that because, like, oh, I got to help you out for today. But one of the comments on my story, Broken Blossom, the third Killer Rarity story. Trying to remember exactly what it was, but something to the effect of, every day when I see that BronyWriter has posted, I sit on my easy chair, light up a cigarette, pour myself a drink, and then get to reading. It's my own BronyWriter chapter ritual. It's like, it's kind of neat. But I do appreciate the comments most of, like, this has brightened up my day. I laughed hard at this, or even just this story, this chapter, this moment really affected me and made me think about some things. Those are always nice.
Do you want a new compliment? Because I got one for you.
Oh God, here we go.
oh no, here we go.
I loved your performance in Disney's Hercules.
Fuck the fuck off! I just. Okay.
It wasn't even a performance. It was a little motion capture. I don't.
It's him. It's Chase Woods.
So, Enigma, after the podcast, would you prefer I rip your entrails out through your mouth or your anus? Because I'm going to let you have that decision.
Well, I've been having stomach problems recently, so preferably the latter.
Okay,
And
out
it's
through
going to
the
be
anus.
the former.
Good to know.
If
Anyway,
the James Woods thing is bothering you so much, I can always switch to my Australian accent and just pretend to be an Australian for the rest of the podcast. Do I sound like James Woods now?
Dundee, is that you?
Stop. It's time to stop. The next question is, how could anyone go as far as to steal from a midget?
Read the actual joke, fucker.
Okay.
How can anybody go as far to steal from a midget?
No,
Here's the joke.
the whole
You wouldn't have to
joke
go
is-
very far.
Here's the joke.
Wow. I was reading in the newspaper today about this midget who got pickpocketed. How could anyone stoop so low? But
Anyway, next fucking question, please.
given you are trapped in a room for an hour with a single noise, would you rather listen to glass squeaking against styrofoam or nails scraping against a blackboard?
Nails on blackboard.
Got it.
All right. What we got? What we got?
What? What is this next question? Okay.
Don't
Well,
ask that question.
Okay.
You're off put as well, I see.
If you were a genie and a person asked you this wish, I wish you would not grant me this wish, what would you do?
Throw him off the Empire State Building for being a smartass.
Got
Grants my wish.
If you could have personally witnessed one event in history, what would you want to have seen?
That's a good one.
I have a suggestion.
No, you do not get suggestions.
Let's say VJ Day.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I was going to say the Kennedy shooting so you can see what really happened.
Wow. Welcome to the Conspiracy Podcast. No. The next question is very serious.
Mhm.
Who is best pony?
I can never decide between Pinky and Rarity.
Man.
Because Rarity I enjoy watching the most, but I am Pinkie Pie.
Oh man.
I think Rarity's best pony, Sweetie Belle is best crusader, Luna is best princess, Derpy is best background.
But Dinky is best filly.
No, Twilight is best filly. Filly Twilight is the cutest we've ever seen.
You have a soft spot for the adorable Twilight trying to do magic and failing.
I do. I once
That's
read a
fair.
story. Something to the effect of Filly Twilight gets glasses, and everybody just kept having the doll heart attacks around her, except
Oh, I remember
Celestia.
that story. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, except for Celestia's like, Twilight, you can't wear glasses anymore. You are just too cute.
They were actually dying. People were actually dying, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. I remember the story.
Well, we kind of had a moment like that with Moondancer. I mean,
No.
Twilight version 2.
No. We've never had that with Moondancer.
We had the
they
pony
were
whose head was stuck in a beaker.
No. They were sitting there and they were arguing over sections in a book.
Yeah, but
Moondancer read the wrong one.
it's not
Mhm.
cute though.
Anyway.
It's books. Now we have a Vylon story.
Let's be careful. Vylon stories are known for being pretty.
No,
Distressing.
Pencil, I've read ahead. It's pretty tame.
All
Surprisingly,
right, then
suspiciously.
This
Enigma, I'm trusting you, so don't let me down again, okay?
all right, BronyWriter.
Yep.
You are Le Pony Cuddler, and Best Pony is playing with you. Yay, happy face. You play tag with each other. Happy face. Best Pony chases you through the kitchen, the living room, and finally to your bedroom. Little hearty emoticon. You jump on the bed, and Best Pony jumps after you, but their jump is too short, and they boop their nose at the edge of the bed. Is owie. Best Pony says, sad face. You say, aw. Will you kiss the boo-boo away?
If she asks.
Oh, wait a minute. The boo-boo's on the nose. I just realized.
Yeah.
What do you think? Where did you think the boo-boo would be? Don't answer that,
That's-
actually.
No, that
Don't answer
that was a
No.
completely innocent question, and we
I
just
know.
accidentally made it bad.
I
So
can make
Welcome
it
to the
worse.
fandom. Gee.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll stop. Okay. The answer is yes. And finally, last question of hers.
Oh, will you give us hugs and kisses, please, with a little heart?
What?
That's her question is, will you give us hugs and kisses? I'm guessing correspondingly to the chat and all the people watching.
Do we all get hugs and
Hugs.
kisses?
Hugs, sure, but kisses I reserve for my wife.
James
Aw.
Dundee, am I getting a hug and kiss?
Nope.
What
You're
about a
getting thrown
forehead
off the
kiss?
Empire State Building for making that stupid wish.
Yay! Thank
Wow.
you so much. Thank you so much. I'd like to thank everyone who's waited for this moment along with me. Enigma
All
Pancake is best pancake.
I'm gonna scroll all the way down to Tony Montana.
Here
Mhm.
we go.
He has the next set of questions. Let's see. Are we having a hard time keeping the guests from freaking out, or are we enjoying watching him suffer? I think. Are you having a good time, BronyWriter?
I sure am.
Good. That's what's important to us.
And I am being so nice. I am making no one suffer except maybe Enigma a little. I am not. I've even cut down on my swearing. Where's my drink?
Well, Enigma
Oh,
doesn't
what's
matter
like
as a
that little
person.
suffering at the hands of your friends?
Where's my
Hey,
drink?
hey, hey.
Okay, hold on.
We're only human.
Thank you, Rab.
Speak for yourself.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
I'm a genie who threw you off the Empire State Building, remember?
Oh, the humanity.
Oh my god, again?
Actually,
know where that
I
quote
really-
comes
Hey,
from?
there is no humanitarian aid here.
Even know where the
Everybody-
quote "Oh, the humanity" comes from? The original person who said it. You know?
Yes,
you
of
know?
course.
Nope.
Of course.
I don't.
I don't.
How do you guys not know? I'm sorry, I'll stop.
The Hindenburg explosion.
Yeah, dude, it was the first time it was said like on live recording on radio. Like holy fuck, it was as the thing was
The reporter's
burning,
freaking out. He's just barely holding it together. It's actually pretty powerful footage.
Yeah, it
Would
was the
the
first
pony-
time it happened.
Would the pony version of Oh the Humanity be Oh the Ponanity?
No,
No,
the
I've
equinity.
always-
It's not.
I've always heard it as the equinety. Is how I've
Equinety,
always
yeah.
heard it.
Yeah, that's how it would go. All right.
Alrighty. Now we got some questions for BronyWriter. Are you a fan of Cyberpunk?
Nope.
Alrighty.
Aw.
What is the greatest idea you had for a story that you were never able to write?
Huh. It was this story called Tyrant. It was basically Tyrant Celestia. Instead of the elements of harmony freeing Luna, they kill her. And Celestia slowly starts losing it and becoming more and more of a tyrant. Twilight's living with her in Canterlot with a few of her friends. Twilight has a daughter. Fluttershy is her nursemaid, babysitter, and eventually the Civil War starts when Applejack and Rainbow Dash go, "I've had enough of this shit." But Celestia acts like a tyrant normally does. Like, I do all of this for you guys. What? I'm not helping. I'm not hurting anybody. Sometimes I just need to lay down my hoof, you know. And yeah, Civil War, different, whatever. I thought of some pretty interesting moments. Like, almost nobody makes it out alive. I think like Applejack, Pinky, and Rarity is about the extent of it. Twilight's daughter dies, Fluttershy dies, Rainbow Dash dies, Celestia dies.
Every rocks fall, everyone dies.
Pretty much.
Alrighty. Is
I've
there
never
any...
had a problem killing 8-year-olds.
Ah, that's a new quote.
Wow, that
I
that
like
was
it.
fantastic.
Good job.
It is there any alternate universe, whether it's from the show, from the fans, that you enjoy or that you really dislike?
I really like Jengar Kordath's winning verse, and especially the subset of Sunset Shimmer in the mercenary town of Freeport. I would absolutely watch a TV show regarding those. No question.
Alrighty.
Yep.
If you could recommend one change to the show and the writers, animators, directors had to listen to you, what would you recommend?
Probably my earlier quote of, "Please strike a balance with Celestia. There's a difference between she can solve everything and if she stubbed her hoof, she'd be out for a week. So strike a little more of a balance. Make her more powerful than not at all."
I like that idea of her stubbing her hoof and being out of commission for a week. That sounds like a story prompt, actually.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Now Tony Montana says that he has a real question for you.
Uh-huh.
Oh, here we go. I'm excited. Let's do this.
There had to be a specific reason you agreed to this podcast, and he's got 3 possible theories. He wants to know which one's closest.
Mhm.
A, either a non-pencil kidnapped you and is now holding you hostage in the closet that usually imprisons me and is refusing to let you go unless you came on. Or B, a non-pencil threatened to turn you into an edgelord, black and white alicorn, unless you agreed to come on. Or C, she threatened to send a swarm of parish sprites after you unless you agreed to come on to the podcast. Which of the 3 would you say is closest?
A, because it's what happened.
Yay! My closet is ever growing in my male harem.
You and
What's
Pencil
the-
have just been trading me off like a box of DVDs. I spend some time in Priest's basement. You know, okay, I'm about to be. Oh, no, I guess I'm back in the closet. Okay. Just
Hey,
Well,
hey.
Hey,
I
when
can
you
do
buy a
all
DVD
this.
of 12 Angry Men, you need to share it.
I liked that movie. That was a good
I
movie.
like that movie. That is a good movie.
It's easily my favorite movie.
It's better than Whiplash?
I own Whiplash.
Objectively, it's better than Whiplash, but
Ooh,
Whiplash
yes.
is my favorite movie.
I did really like Whiplash. It made my wife mad. And I actually wrote a review of Whiplash for my school paper, actually.
Huh.
Yeah. Basically asking the question, what is art worth? What's the line of giving yourself to art? Birdman
Alrighty.
also asks that question, I think.
Let's
Is
see.
art worth dying for? Is art worth being emotionally destroyed for? Is it worth it? I'm a
Ooh.
film minor, so
Alrighty. I think that's really interesting. Whiplash is easily one of my favorite movies, and I'm a drummer, so it rings with me personally as well.
Mine's The Godfather. They're the two Godfather films. It's my favorite movie.
Sweet. Now we'll go to some questions from Lunatone. I think we're getting ready to run to sort of the last, half of the thread. Oh, man. Well, chances are we're not going to get to everyone's question in this podcast.
We got half an hour. We should be able to, Priest, if we are real good, because some of the questions asked are rapid fires. I've checked.
Okay. So we'll start with number one. Well, actually, did we ask this one already? What story are you most proud of? I think you mentioned your TD stories.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yay.
Why do those hold sentimental value to you? Just because you put so much work into them?
Yeah, that, and I wouldn't be where I am today without him.
Okay. Then we'll move
I'm
to
not
number
just
two.
talking right here.
Huh. There's some implications along with that, but if you're not free to express that, then we won't delve into that any further.
Delve into what?
The implications behind. Never mind. It's not important.
Okay.
We'll go to number two.
What?
What authors, both published and on the site, have influenced you the most as a writer?
I think Shengar Kordath for the site, and I don't know, Rowling, I guess, is the author that I've read the most. Like outside, I don't actually read as many books as I used to. I also do like Agatha Christie. She's really good. Thomas Harris, I enjoy. My favorite book is "And Then There Were None" by Agatha Christie. I love that book. So good. But yeah, so there you go.
Alrighty. How would you say they've driven you? What elements do you try to take for them, and how do you look up to them?
See, to me, the most important part of any story is the characters. A lot can be forgiven if the characters are really good. So, yeah, if some of the story elements maybe don't line up, if the dialogue isn't as great as it could be, the mechanics aren't perfect, people will forgive that if you have a really, really interesting character. And those authors make great characters. I mean, we get Hannibal Lecter, Poirot, Winning vs. Cloud Kicker, Strumming Heartstrings. I really like Strumming Heartstrings. Yeah, so I've found through my general reading and stuff that characters are the most important thing. That's what I've taken away from different authors. It's because all those authors have great characters.
Alrighty. Next, we have a hypothetical question. The universe was reset, and reality as we know it is vastly different. You've materialized in front of two doors, a left door and a right door. Would you A, go right where nothing is left, or would you B, go left where nothing is right, and why?
I write with my left hand, so I go left where nothing is right. Because I'm already left-handed.
Fair
I'm
enough
ambidextrous,
answer.
but I write with my. I'm ambidextrous, but I write with my left.
That's some Alice in Wonderland type answer right there. Lewis Carroll. All right, let's go to number 4. How has your writing style and work process changed over the years as you write more and more?
I think I plan things out a little more than I used to. I don't plan out every single detail, but I think that more so than I was a younger author. But I have major points that I want to hit, major plot points, major character points, and I kind of work towards those. as opposed to just, all right, let's sit in front of a computer and see what we're going to get today. I still do that on some level, but not as much as I used to.
Right, right. Question number 5. Would you rather have the following as a pet? Armadillo, sea otter, horse, rock, or pencil?
Me?
Yes, you.
Me.
Yes.
Okay.
you.
Probably a sea otter.
I gotta warn you though, pencil's a pretty high maintenance pet.
Mhm.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
It's like owning a lion, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, Enigma, what is that supposed to mean?
Don't turn your back on pencil, is what I'm saying.
Hey, I have several pencil wounds on my body,
I have
in my
many
hand,
questions.
actually.
Alrighty.
But I
Anyway.
do own a snake. She's
Snakes
a
are cool.
bitch.
Ooh,
Oh.
Yeah.
snap.
My ball pythons were great. Very, very friendly snakes, but my garter snake is a bitch. She bites everything.
All right, number 6. Would you consider yourself to be passive aggressive?
Can be.
Awesome. We
But-
go psychological now.
That was.
But I don't like to be passive aggressive. I prefer to be aggressive.
Aggressive aggressive is definitely the way to go over passive aggressive. I'll back you up on that.
Can I be
Yep.
aggressively passive?
Yeah, you can, and you generally are.
Yeah, I see what passive aggressive leads to, and it's not good for anybody. But I can be. I don't like it, but I can be. My wife calls me out on it.
All right, now we got a question from Nathan Jarrett. How did TD manage to beat Chrysalis to death with just his bare hands? I would think she'd be powerful enough to stop one man, even if he did have changeling powers in some parts of his body, since she's the changeling's queen.
Well, he got the drop on her essentially. I took this from Chingar Kordef actually, but in the TD verse, Chrysalis isn't a entity in of herself. She's a physical manifestation of the hive mind with the leadership complex. So he ambushed her and just beat her to death. And so none of the other changelings attacked because the only thing that was going through their hive mind was, ow, ow, holy shit, this hurts. You know, if you break someone's jaw and then snap their horn off, it limits their ability to fight back.
For a
All
human,
right.
that would hurt worse than anything, I think.
You sound as if
Frank.
you speak from experience.
No, I don't.
And my OC is a Pegasus, or my pony Sona is a Pegasus, so I wouldn't know anything about horn.
Same here.
I kind of like that he has changeling powers, though. He can turn himself into a human.
Oh my god. And I didn't make a sex joke. I
The
did make a
multicolored
sex
male,
joke
is
again.
that what you're saying?
Guys, stop.
Let's just drink.
Yeah.
All right. Now we got some questions from Dr. Foxwolf.
Some of these are pretty rapid fire, so
Yep.
don't be afraid to rattle them off.
Question number 1. What do you think of canon changelings now being made out of pure donut steel?
We'll see.
Spoiler territory, hold on.
We'll see. I mean, I didn't think that a few things. I didn't freak out about Alicorn Twilight quite as much as everybody else did. I didn't really freak out about Alicorn Twilight. I just kind of reserved judgment on it in terms of let's see what happens. So that's pretty much where I am with the changelings now. Let's see what happens.
That's fine.
I'm going to skip the next question out of spoilers, and now I'm actually kind of sad that I know that. Number 3, what's your favorite candy?
Twix.
Oh, real
Right
Twixy
Twix
person.
or left Twix?
Can you say for me real quick, BronyWriter, can you say, ooh, a piece of candy?
Ooh, a piece of candy.
Oh my god. Enigma, I'm so angry with you right now because now I hear it.
I told you! I fucking told you! I wasn't crazy!
I don't sound like James Woods, I promise.
Next
ask my wife.
please.
We have James Woods.
Next
Do
please,
you
next,
even
please.
lift?
No, I don't. Sometimes
that's
I do,
okay.
but I don't.
What is your catharsis?
To see my enemies destroyed before me and hear the lamentation.
Jesus, Conan.
Wow. Okay. We
All
got
right.
real.
I hope not. Shit.
Damn. Stay away from BronyWriter. He's just wrecking people. Up
Hide
to the
your
top he
kid.
goes.
I told you. I have no problem killing 8-year-olds. I told you.
I'm
Hide
now
your
picturing
kids, hide your
Conan.
wife.
I'm now picturing James Wood as Conan.
No, no.
I don't want to be James Woods because I don't want to have a high school and Family Guy named after me.
Thank you.
Family Guy sucks. I mean, it didn't
Yes!
used to, but it does. It does now. It does now. It needs to be put down with The Simpsons. South Park is still great. South Park is as good as it's always been. Even better now, but Family Guy and The Simpsons are their time is over, and they need to admit it.
All right, now we have a lighthearted question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you hide behind your sense of humor to distract yourself from the crushing weight of reality and hopelessness that inevitably comes once you turn your mind to the world as a whole?
Yep.
Awesome.
I can second this. I can
What's your
second this.
favorite book?
And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie.
All right, we
Yay!
already did that. Would you be for or against sapient machines?
Against what?
Sapient machines. So like AIs, robots that could move.
Oh.
talk.
I guess like the Changelings. Let's introduce it, see where it goes.
So you'd be fine with people creating it, to say the very least.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I've seen Terminator. We've all seen Terminator, so hopefully we'll know to avoid stuff like that, but probably not. We
Hey,
probably make the same mistakes. We always do.
Just
Okay.
saying, I would buy my own pony. Next.
No,
what
no, I
movie-
will judge you. I will judge you so hard for this question, and I'm going to shut up now.
What movie is better, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory or Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
The original, no question.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The new one sucks.
If you said otherwise, I was going to have to
No,
disown
the new
you
one's
from
bad.
existence.
I mean, it
Yeah.
has the visual style of any Tim Burton, Johnny Depp. Tim Burton and Johnny Depp need to take a break from each other.
They have been.
But they won't. They won't. No, they've still been working
Just
together
for the
on
next
a project.
15 years, do their own thing, and Johnny Depp needs to make a promise to the world: I will stop playing the same weird character over and over again. I will, because Johnny Depp's a talented actor. You see him in stuff like Finding Neverland. He's a good actor, and like What's Eating Gilbert Grape, he was great in that.
The Secret
would-
Window.
I would prefer, though, rather than seeing him get in better acting parts, I'd prefer to see him get a little, cleaner and stop beating the women he's with. So there's that.
Just variation.
Back to the Jack Sparrow, you bitch.
Yeah, the original, no question.
Alrighty.
Like
do you
asking
enjoy-
which prom night film is better, or which Nightmare on Elm Street film is better, the original or the remake? The original, of course.
do you prefer Necco wafers?
I don't know.
Have you ever had Necco wafers?
Probably, I think so.
They're those chalky candies that come in the little tubes. Not like Pez, but the
Wax
little.
wafer.
Yeah.
Never really. I haven't had them that often, I guess. And if I have, it's been a long, long time. So whatever.
How about candy corn?
I do like candy corn.
Alrighty. Moving down to look through Cyber Phazon's questions. This one looks good. What would be the most hilarious thing to do as a prank if you were in Equestria with two of anybody or any pony to help you do it?
Well, obviously, Pinky Dash would help the most. And I've seen this prank pulled before in a story, so that's how I know it'd be great. Just walk in. I wouldn't even need Pinky and Dash to help me. Just walk into the library, in Twilight's library, while she's reading or whatever and say, hey, Twilight, I moved around 3 books. I don't remember which books they were, and I don't remember where I put them. See ya. And just watch her freak out.
That'd be pretty great. Let's see. We'll do number 3. If you had the chance to, would you hang out with Vinyl and party all night like it's 1999?
Yeah. Totally.
Awesome.
Wouldn't you?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though electronica is not quite my thing. Let's see. Number 5. Would you be friends and hang out with a browser pony if you could, even if it's chatting with said pony on your computer screen?
Browser pony?
Oh, you don't know about browser ponies?
Basically, pony embodiments of like Google or
Oh.
Mozilla
Firefox.
Firefox.
Firefox pony's cutest, let's be clear.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Her name's
sure.
Torch.
Yeah.
She's great.
Yeah, I've seen that kind of stuff. Yeah, I'd do that.
Nobody likes Internet Explorer.
So who would you choose?
No. Oh, Firefox pony, probably.
Yeah. That's what it'd be.
You wouldn't go to the opera with Opera Pony?
No.
No.
Oh,
There's no love for Safari?
No.
No.
no. She's so
Firefox.
boring. Anyway, number 6. Do you think Pinkie Pie is like Kirby when it comes to sweets?
Yeah.
Actually,
All
when I
right.
think about it, it feels like Kirby is just Pinkie Pie if she removed several of her bones.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, okay. Yeah, sure.
I'm going to take this next question. Number 7. Who would win in a race, Sonic or Rainbow Dash?
Oh, gosh. I don't care.
That is the correct answer!
Yay!
Yes! Everyone give him a round of applause.
Yay! Congratulations, Shinji.
Congratulations, Shinji.
Anyway.
All right. Let's see. Now we're down to the final post by Display Serve Equestrias.
Mm-hmm.
This is an interesting one. What is the stupidest thing you've seen both online and in real life?
Stupidest thing I've both seen online and real life. I guess for online, it'd just be your average YouTube comment section. For real life. It was when my first girlfriend dubbed me.
Oh.
Nah, not really.
Poor baby.
Yeah, none of us, in hindsight, I shouldn't have even dated her in the first place. Nobody liked her. She's probably better now, but if she hadn't, I wouldn't be married to my wife right now, and yeah, infinitely better. So, but yeah, real life, I don't know. I have to think about that one.
I got an answer for you.
Mm-hmm.
Twerking.
Oh.
Just
Yeah,
stupid fucking
any of those like internet fad posing things.
Let's do the Harlem Shake.
Yeah.
Let's do
Or
selfies
just-
of duck face.
Or just hipsters in general. Let's just throw that in there. Just hipsters in general.
Now, I'll have you know, I am a pony fandom hipster. I started back when we were on the board on 4chan.
Cool.
No, that's sorry. That said, I think we only have a few more questions left in the thread.
Who fucking we made it through. I told you we would.
We're going to make a last call for questions in the chat. Those who are
Okay.
watching right now, all 21 of you.
And once
if
we're
you
done,
have-
I'll pick some and I'll pass them along.
Yes.
98
so
bottles of votes on the wall.
let's see. Number 2. The question's vague, so I'm going to add on to it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of bullshit do you allow in your comment sections? When does it become far enough that you need to start moderating on your own stories or your user page?
I've made it very clear. Keep the fucking comments relevant to the fucking story. if I get 8 or 9 replies and comments saying, "Oh yeah, yeah, I really did like the new Star Wars movie," I'm like, I don't give a shit. You want to talk about that? Have at it. But here is not the place to do it. If two people are arguing about, oh, I agree or disagree with this thing that happened in the story, great, go for it. But once it stops being about the story itself, take it somewhere else, please.
Alrighty. I think that's pretty fair as far as comment sections go. Everyone has their own set of rules, but I mean, definitely when you start to get things like flame wars going on in there, maybe it's time to take a step back and clean things up a little bit.
It's not even flame wars. It's just it can be two guys having a friendly conversation about whatever. But if it doesn't relate to the story, because I get notified every time they post something like that, so it's annoying.
So you don't like the false hope you get when you see a notification that goes, oh, it's a comment. Maybe it's about the story, and then you click it, and it's not.
Yeah, I guess you could put it that way.
Alrighty. Let's see. The next question is, what is the answer to life, the universe, and everything?
42.
Attaboy.
There, you did it. You made your nerdy obligation. It's fine.
I did.
What do you think of displaced in Equestria stories as a genre?
Displaced in Equestria?
Yes. It's the type of story where someone goes to, say, like a convention and they're dressed up in a cosplay, and then all of a sudden, boom, they're in Equestria and their cosplay magically fused to them and gave them all the powers of that person they were costuming as.
Sounds stupid. Sounds wish fulfilling. Which I guess is a problem in of itself. I'll just say it's not my thing. You want to write it? Go for it.
So if you were to do like a self-insert, you'd go to the convention as James Woods, and you'd be unaffected when you get displaced.
Now then,
You know what it's like to drink an entire gallon of milk with a funnel shoved down your throat?
no, but I do know that for Bleach.
The other end, then.
Oh.
Do a milk bleach. Or no, we'll do ammonia and bleach. There we go.
Oh.
Milk is sitting back there doing like, why are people talking about drinking me again?
Mm-hmm.
I just have to question life sometimes, I swear.
Alrighty. Before we go to questions from the chat, unless you're a particular TF2 fan, BronyWriter.
What?
Are you a fan of
you-
TF2?
Yeah.
Ah!
I have a sniper rifle that I call Bessie. I like it.
All right, ask the TF2 question.
My Steam handle is Antares, the Wrath of the Stars, and I have a sniper rifle for my sniper that I named Bessie, and I like it.
Nice. You typically play sniper?
Yeah, but if you wanted a good pyro, you could do worse. Pyro or an engineer, you could do worse. But I like sniper the best. I always have. For any game, I like snipers. If I can find a sniper rifle in the game, I'm like, I'm happy.
Alrighty, cool. That pretty much covers the TF2 question, or at least on a high level. One final thing before we go to questions from the chat. Hopefully there were some good ones penciled before I shift it over to you.
There's one good question.
This is not in our nature for the podcast. I want to state this straight up. It's not even a question for you, BronyWriter, but I need to take care of this. We do not advertise stories on this podcast at all. But that
unless it's our guests, unless we advertise the stories of our guests.
It's true. Don't submit stories and ask for questions for us to work in the store, advertise their story, even if you're featuring me in it, like Distillation of Equestrius is doing. Please don't do that. It's disrespectful for our guests. Please don't.
Thank you.
Now then, that said, going over to Anand Pencil, what have we seen from our chat?
We have one person who, it's actually a Snuffy, who wanted to know if you have any experience with digital publishing, which I know you do. And how is that for you? What is your experience with it? What are your feelings on it?
Digital publishing, like publishing online, or
Self-publishing, publishing online, or publishing through iTunes or something like that.
oh, well, I've had a very positive experience publishing on FimFiction, obviously, and my experience with publishing, like making the published book for TD the Eloquent Princess, hasn't totally started yet. We've still got to finish up the editing for that, but it should be an interesting process, if nothing else.
Do you recommend it for others?
Yeah, get your stuff out there. You never know what's going to happen.
There you go. You heard it here first, folks.
Alrighty. Well, that said, we are out of questions then, and that pretty much covers all the allotted time that we had.
Though we will also, one thing we sometimes do is, are there any final words you in particular want to leave with our writers, or any final, or readers, or whatever, any particular statement you'd like to leave them with?
Party on, be excellent, don't be a douche.
That's good job. That sums it up.
Well, there you have it, folks. This was the Good HIE podcast. BronyWriter, thank you so much for coming on once again.
Thank you
Hopefully,
for having me.
hopefully you had a good time. Hopefully, everyone in
did.
the chat had a good time. Next week on the podcast, we have Natural Born Jerby joining us for an interview and set of questions.
And we'll say his name right then, we promise.
Wait, did I
Yeah,
not say
you
it right?
said Dripy.
Drippy.
Man, it's the Scotch, I swear.
I'm sure. Is that even real Scotch, or are you still drinking Red Label?
No,
like Mitch?
I'm drinking Macallan Gold. I ended up drinking an entire bottle of Red Label while watching Cats. So clearly, I'm living the life.
I'm proud of you.
Cats. Incredible.
So before we end this, Ryder, what I want you to do is after we end this, I want you to turn to your wifey, and I want you to say, "Wifey, do I sound like James Woods?" And your wifey will give you the answer.
I will do that. I'll be sure to do that when she gets home from work. 4 hours.
Did you seriously call her a wifey? Twice?
That
I
was a
think I've-
discussion earlier. You'll
I think
see.
I've called her wifey before, actually.
Oh, I was talking with
Might as
her
well
not
start.
friendly.
You might as well
Missed
start.
I don't know, man. You don't want to test the boundary. That might not be a boundary you want to test for marriage.
I can vouch.
I already tested a bunch of others.
Whoa.
This was a Good HIE podcast. Thank you for coming out tonight. This was a non-pencil.
I need more alcohol.
Enigmatic Otaku.
Huns.
Flamin' Werfer.
Fuck all of you.
Milk.
I am perfectly
Bye.
okay with killing 8-year-olds. That's the
Ravage.
thing we should all take away from this.
And of course, our guest, BronyWriter.
Thank you for having me.
God, that sign off was terrible for all of us, and I'm ashamed of each and every one of us for that.
My name is Flutter Priest. Have a good weekend.
It's not illegal to call a toddler a dickhead.